Hello everybody, this is Dell, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some easy ways to climb out of that bronze, silver, and gold elo with some tips and tricks on Mercy. Some basics you should know about Mercy is she's a very mobile and game-changing hero. She can cover high grounds and as well as enter and exit under team engages as fast as need be. And if she wanted to, she can create an unstoppable force known as Pharmacy with Pharah. One flaw is that she needs to stay close to her team. If Mercy falls behind, she cannot jump on an ally with her guardian angel. She can either be picked off, staggered, and as well as feed the enemy. So one thing is to stay behind those shields, use your environment, stay behind walls, use any left and right crick and cranny to be able to exit out of, and be aware of your surroundings. Also, one key is to know who you're facing. If you Valkyrie into the air and there's a McCree in the distance, most likely he's going to Deadeye and pick you off, leading into a quick stagger. So, know who you're facing, stay close to allies, and always have an exit. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail with the rest of her abilities because they're practically the same concept as I said before. You want to make sure you're playing behind shields with your team, always have an exit, and play to your environment. Now there's only two of the abilities that I'm going to go over, and that's her Resurrection and her Valkyrie. Now these two are very important because these ones are what make a good player a good Mercy, and the bad Mercies bad players. So, with further ado, let's get into them. So the first one we're going to go over is Mercy's Resurrection. This one has been misused and abused so many times it actually drives me insane. One thing you do need to know is her resurrection is all about timing. Never force a resurrection just to try to get someone back into the game because it could lead you into getting sniped off or killed from the enemy side. I would highly suggest for your tanks to push forward just a little bit to give you some room to be able to give that res off if they can. If they can't, don't worry about it. Focus on your primary heals, which is your DPS, and make sure that they're alive if they're keeping the game going. If you can, I would use Mercy more for the benefit of your team of healing players that are doing the most. If that McCree is getting non-stop kills after kills and getting those ultimates like crazy, pocket them. Make sure they stay alive. Rather than keeping a Genji who keeps flanking into the enemy side but getting eliminated like crazy, I would rather focus on people who are doing more for your team, which is focusing more on the heals on your DPS. Now if you can, I would get a low ground healer like Lucio or Moira who can focus more on the ground tanks and as well as the other DPS that they're playing on the ground as well. Those are more of what Mercy can deal with is the high ground heal so that she can be more beneficial to the team and as well create more space. Now one thing is you do not want to be too far on her resurrection because at a certain point it will cancel if you are either too low, too high, or you just get booped or from a diva hitting you. Anything like that can actually cause the cancel. So you want to, like I said before, you want to place these resurrections at a good time and make sure that there's people around you that will be able to help you in the circumstance. Now we're going to talk about Mercy's Valkyrie. As we all know, Mercy can Valk into the air using her wings to be able to fly to allies to be able to heal them on a much higher efficiency rate and as well as amplitude of damage. Now this ult really works well if you're doing a pharmacy with a Pharah because you could be able to stay with her a lot more easier and be able to lock onto her when she's ulting to be able to throw that extra damage on top of it, or just to kill her, just make sure she doesn't get eliminated mid-ult. Now, just as I said before, you do want to make sure that you're still hiding behind walls, any pillars, because any headshot can still kill you, and as well as any ultimate such as a McCree Deadeye, a Soldier, and even a Mei ult, sadly. If you're just at the right height, she can actually still freeze you in midair. So you really want to play her ultimate more as a safe space and just to be able to create a little bit of room for your team to be able to exit out of team fights or engage. That works just as fine as well. Now, don't be afraid to pop that ult early. If they're on the last point and you're in spawn and you have that ultimate, use it to get there faster, to be able to res someone on the point, to be able to stall it. Do anything possible to be able to make sure that the enemy team does not capture your objective or your payload. But other than that, that's all I have for you today, guys. Now keep in mind, I am not the best Mercy player in the world. There's other players way ahead of me. Today I'm focusing more on just helping those players who are stuck in that low bronze and that silver and that gold that want to get a little bit better at the game. Now, like I said, I'm not the best player in the world, but I've grown from the previous seasons that I worked with. I've been as low as some silver, and then I moved to gold, and now I moved to plat, and now I'm actually almost diamond. So I'm continuing to grow every single time and just improve myself and my game mechanics the more I play with Mercy and understand how to control her a lot better. But make sure that you keep in mind all those tips of staying behind those shields, staying behind the walls, make sure you have that exit, and make sure you know who you're facing. Don't go into the air and Valk if there's a McCree nearby, or you know that soldier's going to throw that ult on you, or there's a Widow in the distance just sniping you in the air. Get down low, stay behind those shields, be more beneficial to your team. If this video did help you, I would really appreciate it if you liked, comment, and subscribe to help my YouTube channel grow. And other than that, I thank you guys so much for coming by, and I'll see you all really soon.